All right. We are now officially live. How does it feel, Jamie?
Feels good. Feels good to be able to do it. So, yeah, I'm
Good.
ready.
All right. So we are now officially live. Good morning, Facebook land, everybody out there viewing. Welcome to the April edition of our Champions for Drug-Free Carroll County Coalition meeting. We're coming at you a little bit different this month because of COVID. If you haven't joined us before, we kind of had to go virtual due to COVID things happening within the past year. We hope to be back on track with in-person meetings soon. So bear with us until we get those things lifted and the mandates get lifted for that, for social gatherings. Until then, we will come at you virtual, and we would like to know who's here with us today. So if you could, please just put your name and what organization you're with in the comments section, and we will recognize you and say thanks for coming. I did just want to go ahead and make sure that you all can see and hear us fine. So let us know that you can see and hear us, and we will get started with our amazing guest speaker here today, Mr. Jamie Kinman, and just let us know. So I'll see a couple people hopping on the comment section. Good morning, Delane. Hi, Elizabeth and Kathy. Lori B is with the Northern Kentucky Addiction Helpline. Wonderful. Elizabeth says she can see and hear us. So I'll get started with just a couple introductions, and then I am going to basically give the reins over to Jamie after I introduce him. Good morning, Casey Derman. She's with the Three Rivers District Health Department. Hi, Stephanie. She's our secretary.
My sister.
Good morning, Kim. Your sister's on here. Hey, Kim. She's proud of you. A lot of people are. Yes.
She's a big support.
Got to have that support system.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Haley Franklin. I am the chair of Champions for a Drug-Free Carroll County. I have been in this position for quite a while, and I love it. I love that we are an organization that gives second chances. We wrap our arms around folks that are in recovery, in treatment, have been addicted, and that's what we're here for. And we're here to help kind of diminish substance abuse in Carroll County. So keep that in mind. And as we go along with this video, I did want to make one thing very clear. This is going to be a positive experience for everybody, for myself, for Jamie, for everybody watching. So if there are any negative comments or negative reactions to this video, they will be deleted immediately. So keep that in mind. I want this to be a positive experience for everyone. Good morning, everybody. We've got lots of people chiming in. Thank you for joining us. So we have Mr. Jamie Kinman here, and most of you, if you're from Carroll County or the surrounding area, are familiar with his name. He is a former sheriff of Carroll County, and he wants to basically come to us and tell his story today of basically just his journey that he has had. He has been in policing since 1999, and he was actually our sheriff for Carroll County from 2011 to 2017. For those of you that don't know his whole entire story, he'll go into a little bit more of that today, but basically he fell on some hard times and he became addicted to pain pills. And he's basically going to talk us through that story and that timeline of how that happened. And who was involved. And he's just going to basically walk us through that. So I don't think we're going to have time for a question and answer session at the end because of time constraints. But if you do have questions for Jamie, he has told me that he's more than happy to take these questions personally. So if you want to reach out to Jamie, I think that he is totally fine with you reaching out to him on Facebook or his personal cell or something like that, and just asking him questions that way. Okay. I see some more folks hopping on. Thank you all so much for joining us today. This video will be published after it is live, and I will send it out to our distribution list as well. Okay. Jamie, would you like to go ahead and take it away for us?
I will. I'll go ahead and get started. Just like Haley said, I was your sheriff from 2011 to 2017. I grew up here in Carroll County. Mom and Dad raised me and my two sisters here. Graduated in 1995 and left Carrollton, went to Eastern Kentucky University. Well, first I went to Kentucky Wesleyan on a football scholarship and then to Eastern for the police administration program. I spent my time there. After about a year and a half, I came home, got a job at our local jail with our jailer then, Mike Humphrey. Worked there for about a year and a half. At that time, my aspirations were always to get in law enforcement. So an opening come open with the sheriff's office, and I got hired on as a deputy and worked there from 99 to 2007. In 2007, I transferred over to the Carrollton City Police and worked there from 2007 until 2011. In 2010, I decided to run for sheriff. And then in January of 2011, I took over after winning the election in November. From 2011 to 2017, I was your sheriff. During, I think it was 2010, we had a benefit. It was a benefit trail ride, and I had had an accident, got hurt, fell off a horse, tore my knee up, went to the doctors, and that was the beginning of my, addiction.
What year was that you said?
What year? 2010. And then after all the knee issue with that, started to get kidney stones. And that, if you've ever had them, they're very painful, and
Yes.
you get prescribed pain medication. So that continued, and it became a thing that, for me, after taking them for so long, I needed it. So, I wouldn't blame a doctor. I never would do that. It was all my own doing, my own fault. But I would keep recurring, going back to the doctors, just trying to get more. And that's what I would do. But the use got real bad from 2011 all the way until 2017. It got so bad, I didn't want to look myself in the mirror. I would shy away from family, friends, one of my best friends. And if I do get emotional, I'm sorry, but it's a pretty touching story. But one of my best friends, he would always, want to do things, but I wouldn't do it because I was ashamed of myself and just didn't want to put myself around people that could possibly see what was going on. So, I would just keep to myself, stay out late at work, and wouldn't go home. So it got pretty bad. And then the whole time I knew I was hurting myself and mainly my family, kids, wife at the time. It was a troubling time that I was putting them through. But when you're in addiction, it didn't come to me. I just kept wanting that next little fix, and I would do things that I'm not proud of and things that I look back on, and I deal with them daily, that really, really took me down a dark road. Looking back, I just I hated myself for it, and it wasn't the Jamie that my mom and dad raised to be. So in February, it was February 22nd, 2017. I had gotten off work and got home with the kids and my wife at the time, and I knew something was wrong, and I could just tell. And then she left, and then all of a sudden everybody shows back up, and there's 10, maybe 15 people. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but there was several, and a couple of my deputies, and everybody knew, and I knew they knew, but I just still kept trying to hide everything. And, at that time, they they give me an ultimatum, get help or, things, it wasn't going to happen. So
Kind of like an intervention.
yeah, it was an intervention. And I thank God for that day. I know I personally haven't thanked all them people, but, I do thank them because they did that day saved me, and so the next morning we started making phone calls to try to get into somewhere. So we found a place up in Georgetown, and I went up there for 30 days, and it was a good program. I mean, there are programs around here that, can help people. And, but me, as far bad as I had gotten, Haley, I knew that 30-day program was not going to help,
Yeah.
and I needed something. And at the end of that 30 days, I got charged with a crime, and I deserved what I got, and it was my doings. I did it, and and I'm sorry for everything that I did. So at the end of that 30 days, I had to come back and come home and face the face the people, and it was hard. Um, I had to go to court. It was April the 4th of 2017. And the courtroom's packed. There's media. So you just kind of, I was I was a ghost to it. I don't remember a lot from that day.
Felt like a
You know,
zombie kind of walking through
yeah,
everything.
yeah, it was, and there's people in there that I'd worked for years, worked with, and I know I had let them down, and it, excuse me, lady, but it sucked, you know, and so fortunately, um, Pat Butcher, which he's a great man. He had he had known of a place in Alabama that was it's not a rehab. They don't call it a recovery center. They call it a Bible training center. And he knew of that place by, I guess, through his pastor business. And it's called Aanland Ministries, and it's in a small town called Ottaville, Alabama. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. But this place, it was a godsend. And he got me signed up to go down there. And fortunately, the judge, the prosecutor, and the assistant prosecutor at the time, they were all on board with it. And I'm very thankful that they let me go there. I'm not saying nothing. I could have gone to a place here in Kentucky, but I knew deep down that I needed to get away and fix myself.
Yeah.
So we get out of court that day, and my sister and my niece, we load up in the car and we head to Alabama. And we get down there, and you're going down this back country road, and you're thinking,
Like, where?
and here I was, the sheriff, and I'm going to a place where I know nobody and what kind of people I'm going to be encountering. But once I got there, I knew right then, this is it. This is where I need to be, because they were just there with open arms, and they had an understanding, and it was a place that it was a great place. The how it was founded was the founder of which, he passed away in 2014. He used to be I think it was Hell's Angels or one of the motorcycle clubs. He was a member, and he would come down on hard times, and he decided to take his life to God and to help people that had addiction problems or any, altering problems in their life. He would help them. So he opened his home to people, and then he found a place to put Canaan land, and he opened that up. So, and thank God for that, because that really put him on the map, and it has helped so many guys' lives that have fell into addiction or any other problems in their life. So I get to Alabama, and it's pretty intense. For the first 30 days, you don't get any phone calls, no letters, and at the end of the 30 days, you got to you learn the Bible. So you had to learn scriptures, and to get a phone call every week, you get a 15-minute phone call on Fridays. You would have to learn a scripture, and if you missed one word in it, you wouldn't get your phone call. So it was, and it wasn't just a one sentence scripture. It was something that you really had to apply yourself to. So, how you would start your days out there, they'd wake you up. You would have breakfast, you'd have praise and worship for an hour, and then you had 3 hours of Bible classes. And after the Bible classes, we would have lunch, and then each one of us had our own designated job. So it kept you busy throughout the day. And then at supper, you would have supper time. And after that, we would have another round of praise and worship or studying, study halls or groups that we would get into and discuss everything. But that Canaan Land it was like just, it would be nice if, and their vision is to put one in every state. And I know in Kentucky, they had talked to a couple people in Kentucky about doing one, but it hasn't happened yet. But, it's a big benefit.
I put their information, their website, in the comments box of the video. So if anybody wants more information on Canaan Land or wants to learn a little bit more about where Jamie was, kind of what he went through, that website is in the comment section. You guys can click on that and check it out.
So once, you had to be able to go there, you had to commit a whole year of your life that you would stay there. And the thing about that program, it's free of charge. It's not government funded.
That's amazing.
So, it's all them doing their thing. And anybody that, has fallen on hard times or has problems with addiction, I would highly recommend Canaan Land. They got their website. You can get on there and look at it. As she said, if you got any questions after this, I'll be free to ask them or answer them. But leaving Canaan Land and coming back home was, that was pretty intense. I graduated and come home, and my family life wasn't what it was, that I wanted. That it wasn't what it was when I left. Things had changed, and I understand that. I do, for my mistakes that I made. So when I get home, do I want to live in Carrollton? Do I want to work in Carrollton? Because I know people are still, they're, they were going to be, and I deserved everything that they threw at me. So what I did is I had a friend that's got a business in Louisville, and I give him a call, and with no hesitation, he said, come work for me, and we did that. So I did that for like 6 months. And then I was fortunate enough to get a job here in Carrollton out at the rental center, Craig's.
Yes.
And I've been there ever since with Kevin, which Kevin's people. I love Kevin Craig. He's a great guy.
He is. He's an amazing asset to this community.
I'll catch some flack over that, but he is a good guy. So I've been with Kevin ever since, and it's been great. I did, my family life, like I said, has changed. My kids, I let them down, and but when I got home from Alabama, I was able to set them down one night and talk. And the good thing about Canaan Land is they make a video for your whole year that you're there. So I got to show it to them, what Daddy did and how we got through it, and it was a good experience to be able to explain to them what happened. But I'm thinking, how are they going to react? But ever since, it's just been open arms, and the kids have, we do great. We're happy, and the other things in my life as far as my family, then we're friends and everything's great. So that's what I've asked for.
That's amazing.
And it's been great. But I know there's people out there, the addiction, it's hard. And until you live it, or you have a family member, and a lot of people, I know there's a lot of people that have dealt with it. But I always used to, I was in law enforcement. I always, addiction. I'd kick it, it wouldn't bother me. But once it did get a hold of me, it was hard, and it got to that point where, like I said, on that day of February 22nd, if something hadn't been done, it was going to be real bad for me and my family. So, if there's anything like people out there that need help, don't hesitate to ask for it. That's one thing I did wrong is I knew I needed help, but I always, Jamie, you can do it. You're the sheriff, and I always put that above me. I always thought you can do it. It's going to be okay, but I couldn't, you know, and, but it
It's
was
crazy
just
that
rough.
you say that, Jamie, because when we have people on here talk about their recovery and their treatment process and what they think, what goes through their head, it's the same exact thing. They all think that they can beat it themselves and that they're kind of invincible to it. Like this
You do,
is,
you
you
do,
know,
you think that it's not going to get to you,
yeah,
but addiction is hard. I mean, it's, some people call it a sickness. Some people call it a disease. Myself, I mean, I'm not an expert on it. I dealt with it, but my thing is it's all here.
very much.
I think, it is hard to get over. But some people look at it different. Some do, like I said, call it a sickness, a disease. But to me, it was all in my mind. And once I got it in my mind that, you're throwing everything away. What are you doing? And when I was in Alabama, that really touched with me because I realized you've done what you've done. Now you need to make it better. So I strive to do that every day. I still have my hiccups. I still, we all fail every day.
Absolutely.
But I do try my best to lead my kids. That's one thing I want to do is just, I try to be there for them and do what's right and just let people know that, yeah, we're going to make mistakes, but I'll be the first. I made a lot of mistakes, too many, but I did it and I just asked for forgiveness and I can go forward and just move on with it.
I know your
I
kids
didn't
are
know it was
proud
a
of you.
question that it said, do they work the 12 steps? It's really not, they don't, it's not a 12-step program. It is straightforward Bible study. You learn the Bible. I mean, from the beginning to the end, you learn it. And I mean, you've got a whole year, and every day is straight Bible study. Wednesday nights, you have church. Sunday, you have church. We went to meetings at different churches. I mean, it's straight Bible, but there's no 12 steps to it.
Okay.
You got 12 months to get it and, get God in your heart. And that's something I never had. I didn't have that. I used to go to church all the time, but no, I didn't know it the way I know it now, and it's Canaan land is a blessing.
Awesome. Um, were other people that came to Canaan land, do you think that they got the same like powerful message from it? Do you think they were successful and
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when I went there, there was 18 of us. And then they did narrow it down. They'll take a student every month because somebody graduates once a month. And the whole year I was there, the guys that I went with, yes, we all grabbed it. Actually, there's about four of them that I still keep in contact with. A couple of them. One of them just got engaged. One already got married, and I mean we stay in contact. So it's just something that and it was different. Not everybody there was prescription pills.
right?
Not it wasn't all. I mean they had different addictions, but it was all different. But once we got there and got as a group, there were some guys I didn't understand when they first got there. Why are you here? But after getting with them, I did understand their story,
Yeah.
they're looking at me the same reason. You can't beat pain pills, but I can, so it was a
Uh,
life experience.
for sure. Um, I mentioned in the beginning we wouldn't do a question and answer session here at the end, but like I said, Jamie is open to any questions that you guys have that you want to ask him personally or here on Facebook. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to indulge in those questions. Um, And I really just wanted to. A lot of people, take this as an opportunity to dwell on positives or negatives or failures, but to me, this is a success. And Jamie coming on here and telling his story is something that should be inspiring to someone and motivating and just all around pretty great. So we're just happy to have him on here. And thank you guys for your amazing, wonderful, positive comments. They've been great. And I just wanted to shout out a couple. Casey says, thank you so much for sharing, Jamie. Your courage is inspiring and will save lives. And she's absolutely right.
Thank you.
So there's tons of amazing comments on here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Jamie, did you want to say anything else before we hop off of here?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, again, like I think I said a while ago, that anybody with them problems, don't keep it to yourself. Don't try to hide it, because people will see it. And, and when they do see it and you continue to hide it like I did, and you lie and you just keep living that life, you lose that person more and more each day. And, there's things in my life that I can't get back that I wish I could. But I've learned that, I've got to move forward. I've got to be good for my kids and just, be the best that I can for them. And, so if you battle this addiction, get help, ask for help, don't be scared. I mean, I was scared, but don't be scared, because there may be a time it's going to be too late, and then you're going to leave your family to suffer. And, there's just not, there's other resources that you can get help with it. And I just want to say that, I made mistakes. I did it. And, and I'm sorry to my community, because I did let you down. It was a dark day. I know we're on the media and it's for the wrong reasons, and I'm sorry for that. So, anybody I've hurt, I've done wrong, I sincerely apologize. And, I just ask that let's move forward and just enjoy life.
Yes, I love it so much. Thank you, Jamie, once again for coming on here. And I just wanted to remind everybody that if you are struggling, here as champions, we are 100% here to help you through with whatever you're going through. If you come to me, I will help you with whatever you need. I may not know the answer, but I promise you that I'll know somebody that does know the answer. So if you come to me, we'll make sure that you get what you need. And we just really are rooting for you all. So Jamie,
Yes.
Thank you again so much. And like I said, we don't have time for question and answer session, but if you do have questions for him, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll see you all next month. We'll come on here again on the 4th Thursday of next month, and that will be, looks like May 27th. So we'll see you here again May 27th at 11:30 with another guest speaker. So thank you again, Jamie. Your story is inspiring, and I'm very glad that you came on here and shared it with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.